Hola amigos. Let me tell you a story about a woman, a brave woman. Her name was Jael. She lived in a time of great turmoil, a time when her people, the Israelites, were suffering. But Jael, she was different. She was not afraid. She took destiny into her own hands. She changed history. Jael's story is one of courage and faith, a beacon of hope for all of us. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, even when all seems lost, one person can make a difference. One person can change the world. Jael's story is an inspiration. It teaches us that we all have the potential for greatness within us. We just need the courage to embrace it, just like Jael did. Are you ready to hear her story? Then let us begin. This is the tale of Jael, the woman who defied the odds. Stay with us as we unfold her incredible journey. For 20 long years, the Israelites lived under the cruel rule of King Jabin. Can you imagine, amigos, 20 years of suffering? Jabin's general, a powerful and ruthless man named Sísara, made life unbearable for the Israelites. Sísara, with his 900 iron chariots, terrorized the land. He crushed the Israelites' spirit, leaving them with nothing but fear and despair. Imagine, amigos, the sound of those iron chariots rumbling across your land. The fear that would grip your heart. For 20 years they lived in constant dread, hoping for a savior. But even in the darkest of times, hope finds a way. Débora, a wise woman and a judge of Israel, received a message from God. It was a prophecy, a message of hope. The prophecy said that a woman would defeat Sísara and free the Israelites. This prophecy, amigos, was a light in the darkness. It was a promise that their suffering would not last forever. And so, they held on to this hope, waiting for the day of deliverance. Débora summoned Barak, a brave Israelite warrior. She told him about the prophecy, that he was to lead the fight against Sísara. But Barak, he was afraid. He doubted himself. He said he would only go if Débora went with him. Can you imagine, amigos, being given such a task, such a responsibility? Barak was afraid, but he was also a man of faith. He trusted Débora and he trusted God. Together they prepared for the battle that would change their fate. With Débora by his side, Barak found the courage to lead. Section 5. Sanctuary from the storm. The battle raged, and the Israelites, inspired by Débора's courage and God's power, fought with all their might. They chased Sísara's army, scattering them like leaves in the wind. Sísara, defeated and alone, fled on foot. He sought refuge, a place to hide. He came upon the tent of Jael. He thought he was safe. He didn't know it, but he had walked right into the hand of destiny. Jael, with a heart full of resolve, prepared to change the course of history. In that tent, a new chapter of victory was about to be written. Section 6. The milk of kindness. Jael saw Sísara, exhausted and afraid. She knew who he was, this enemy of her people, but she showed him kindness. She invited him into her tent, offering him shelter from the heat of the day. She gave him milk to quench his thirst, covering him with a blanket. Sísara, exhausted, fell into a deep sleep. He felt safe. He had no idea what awaited him. Jael had a plan, and Sísara's fate was sealed. The kindness she showed was a prelude to his end. Section 7. A tent peg and a hammer. Jael saw Sísara sleeping, this powerful general who had brought so much pain to her people. She knew what she had to do. She took a tent peg, a heavy wooden stake, and a hammer. And with a single decisive blow, she drove the peg through Sísara's temple, pinning him to the ground. It was a shocking act of courage, amigos. Jael, a simple woman, had defeated the mighty Sísara. Her bravery brought peace to her people. Section 8. Freedom's Dawn. Barak, searching for Sísara, arrived at Jael's tent. Jael led him inside, and there he saw Sísara, the enemy of his people, defeated. With Sísara's death, the backbone of Jabin's army was broken. The Israelites were finally free from oppression. The prophecy had been fulfilled. A woman had indeed brought down the mighty Sísara, just as Débora had foretold. A new dawn of freedom and hope began for the Israelites. Section 9. A Song of Triumph. Jael's act of courage was celebrated in song, her name forever etched in the history of her people. Débora sang of Jael's bravery, of how she had struck down the oppressor and brought peace to the land. Jael's story, amigos, is a reminder to us all. It reminds us that greatness can come from unexpected places. It reminds us that we all have the potential for extraordinary courage, and that even the smallest among us can change the course of history. So let us remember Jael, and let her story inspire us to find our own courage. For in every heart lies the potential for greatness, waiting to be awakened.